Okay, hello and welcome. This is Hattrellator here. I am clearly on Minecraft 1.8.4. I have, in my inventory, as you can see, I have 64 cobblestone, a bucket, 6 sticks, a diamond hoe, some wheat, some dirt, and some seeds. These are pretty much, as you may have guessed if you've played it before, the components you need. And you don't actually need the wheat in the first place, obviously that's what you actually collect, but I was just going to use that to kind of demonstrate what you can do with a wheat farm in the server. But you also need something else which I haven't got in my inventory, because I want to show you sort of how to get this stuff. Okay, so first of all, to farm wheat, if we go back to basics, we need this long grass here. As you can see, it helps if you have shears, you can get actually more long grass from it, because it doesn't always yield seeds. Or basically all you have to do is left click on your mouse when pointing across at the actual grass, and then that one didn't yield me any seeds because there's nothing there. But if you keep on doing that to lots of those wild grass, I'm not going to do it now, but if you keep on doing it to lots of wild grass, you'll eventually get some seeds, and these seeds will look in your inventory when you pick them up like this. Okay, so I've got 10 here just to sort of kind of show you. Okay, so that's pretty much how you get the seeds in order to start a wheat farm. So I also have here, like I said, a hoe and everything, and dirt. So if, for example, we wanted to do a small kind of wheat farm here, for example, just farm a little bit, obviously get rid of some of the dirt, just get it out of the way. I'm going to turn this into hole there, okay, and that's for the water. So you obviously need a bucket, which you can get from some iron, is all you need to make a bucket. Then this is my faction base, so just walking inside my faction base, a bit of lag there, sorry about that. Down to the water. And it's important to note that these are source blocks of water. If you, for example, take water out of the middle of a waterfall, you can't do it because it's not a source block. If you don't use a source block to get water, then the water just dries up. So it's important to have source blocks because they just replicate infinitely, so you don't actually ever run out, essentially, which is why it's good. Let's walk a little bit slow so it doesn't lag for you too much. Just go out here. Lagging quite badly, I'm sorry about this. Internet connection, it's bad. Okay, so now we're back here. That's what we would do, is we would place some water in there, like so. See, it's plenty of water just in one block to cover that whole area. Just place it at one end, which is how I normally do it. Okay, so now we're going to try to create the kind of ground that you need to plant the seeds to create the wheat. Okay, so as we can see, that's not ready yet. As in, if that stayed like that, it would eventually turn back into dirt, because this is essentially a dried farming ground. Farming ground, as in, it's pretty much called that, but that's what I'm referred to it as, because they go darker after a while of being by the water. And although you can plant seeds when it's like this, essentially if you just hoe some normal ground that goes like this, eventually, if there's no water beside it, it will just turn back into dirt. Whereas, as we'll see in a minute, these will turn darker. So we have our seeds here. There we go, it's going darker. Just for the benefit of this video, I just want it to go darker. just so you know what to expect when you're playing. Okay, never mind, it's taking a while. I'm bored, so oops, some seeds there, some seeds there, some seeds there. There we go, there's some more going darker. Seeds there. Some seeds there. And lastly, some seeds there. So, now I'm going to do a blue Peter moment and show you here's someone prepared earlier, so I'll go back into my base. Okay, so just one last look at that. You can see they'll start growing very shortly. And then there we can already see some starting to get a bit taller. So, anyway, so here's my base. What I mean by the blue Peter moment is here's one I prepared earlier, so I'm going to show you my fully fledged wheat farm. So you know what to expect after a long time of actually having grown the seeds, and I've obviously prepared quite a lot of wheat. Then you'll start to see what I'll show you. Okay, so this is just sort of the main entrance hall to my base that I've built. It's not just mine, there's a few other people who are members of my faction, but I create a faction. Okay, so this is my main wheat farm here. As we can see, we have rows of about 7 or 8 wheat. I can never seem to get maximum yield. Some of them won't grow. There's different spots, as we can see here. That isn't something planted in there, it's just because it gives me a seeds back and they refuse to grow in certain spaces. I don't actually know why that is. Somebody who's more sort of technical on Minecraft perhaps can work that out. There you go, so as you can see, I've created some cobblestone channels. The main reason for this is so you can travel in between, and it makes it easier when harvesting. So now I'm going to show you how to harvest some wheat. So if you want to harvest this row, for example, I've got sticks in my hand, it doesn't matter, you can have nothing in your hand, you still do it. But you just left click once, it'll give you the wheat. Obviously mine's lagging quite a lot, yours will probably look a lot better when you're doing this. As we can see, our wheat count's increased from 6 to 8 already, so we've harvested 2, 9, and now we've got some seeds, some extra seeds as well. I'm not entirely sure how many seeds they give you, but all I know is that the seeds increase over time as you harvest and collect them. So you essentially have the resources to expand when you want to. Okay, so just replanting the seeds like we saw when we were outside. So yes, so essentially I've showed you how to collect the wheat now, and there is another floor of wheat downstairs, which I'll just briefly show you. It's pretty much exactly the same. It's just to show that you can farm wheat underground quite easily, really. So as you can see, I put some flowers around. You don't need flowers there, it's literally just for like a visual appeal, just because I think it looks quite nice with flowers around them. Obviously it takes a while to dig out these places. If you have an iron pick or a diamond pick, yeah, you can mine essentially a lot faster, so it makes life a lot easier. I just used a stone pick, so it was possible to mine pretty much most things with a stone pick. There's certain blocks, like obsidian and stuff, that would take an absolute age if it's possible with a stone pick. So ideally you need an iron pick for that. So this is my farm essentially. Cobblestone, like I say, cobblestone after you've mined the stone, it just looks like that when you place it again. If you cook it, as in if you put coal under it in a furnace, and you can turn that into stone that looks similar to the stone walls we have in here, instead of the sort of cobbly effect. If you prefer that. Okay, so last part of my video, I'm just going to quickly show you how to create bread from the wheat that you've harvested. So I've put one wheat there, some wheat there, just by right clicking and dragging and then left clicking, and we end up with bread. Right click to claim the bread as many times as you can with a 3 in a row. Now we have 2 bread. Okay, so I'll keep these 3 wheat. Okay, so that's essentially how my wheat farm works. You end up with bread. So just for the purpose of this, I'll show you why I'm farming the wheat in the first place. Is to create bread, which increases your hunger. As we can see, I've got 7 out of 10 hunger now. You eat the bread, and 1 loaf, which restores it by 3 to 100%. You then have the wheat, so I'm going to do slash sell. I'd have to say with the chat, but essentially you can sell wheat, but I'm pretty sure bread sells for much more, just why it's obviously more convenient to sell bread. Okay, so that's it for the wheat farm video. Hattrellator signing.